Thank you, Alfred. Of course, Naho is my big brother. We have been in touch very closely right up until right now. Naho has always known my position within the party, especially when it got to primaries. When between 2005 and 2010, I was the general secretary, of course, I couldn't show any open preference, even though Alan Kyerematen has always been my friend. Of course, once I left office from 2010, anytime Alan has shown interest in contesting presidential primary within the party, I have consistently supported Alan Kyerematen against the Akufo-Addo and others. Mm-hmm. So if that was not a statement enough, then I don't know what Naho is talking about.
Okay.
In any case, even in 2008, Akufo-Addo was the candidate for the election, and I was still general secretary. There were issues that I had to address directly with Akufo-Addo as candidate. And his responses and reactions showed me clearly that the man was not ready to listen to advice. And I won't go into the detail. So it has never been the case that as far as Akufo-Addo's candidacy and Akufo-Addo's presidency was concerned, I have fed into that kind of narrative that Akufo-Addo has been my candidate. No. So if 2016, I was just an ordinary member of the party at the time. I was not in any position in terms of being an active executive. But during the primary, I actively supported the candidacy of Alan Kyerematen until right now, even after Alan left the party and formed his movement for change. I am still with him. So that clearly should show Naho and others that some of us had always felt that Akufo-Addo was not the right candidate either for party or for president. But having said that, let me touch briefly on the point that Martin and Professor Jampo were having a debacle over, whether John should have been voted out 2016 or whether he should have continued. I disagree with Professor Jampo. I think that the people of Ghana decide. So they decided that 2016, we had seen a certain kind of governance under President John Mahama. We thought we needed a change. That was a sovereign decision of the people, and they took it. Now, the people get a chance to experience Akufo-Addo's presidency and an NPP government, and decided that, wow, we thought John and his government were bad, but this one is really bad. So then they decide, okay, let's give John another chance. I think that is a major development in our democracy. It's a major statement, you know, because if Akufo-Addo hadn't had the chance to become the candidate for NPP, one, and two, to become president of Ghana, people will write books and say Akufo-Addo is the president we never had. Yes. You know? Mm. And Akufo-Addo himself, his family, and the people who feel so superior to all of us, these Chebi people who feel they are the most, I don't know how to describe it, most intelligent, most educated, most qualified to lead. That myth.
So not all Chebi people.
I am saying those people from Chebi who are in government now. Look, let me mention my own very good friend, Atachia. I was very shocked to hear Atachia one day say on public TV that if you take the history of Chebi and Achem out of Ghana, there is no Ghana. There is no history of Ghana. And I was so shocked to my bone because I love Atta. And he's somebody that I have had a very good relationship with. And I thought he was one of the most reasonable people within this Chebi group. And even he could go to that extent, you know. So it was good that Akufo-Addo became candidate of NPP. NPP people have seen his leadership of the party. It was good that he became president of Ghana. Ghanaians have seen his kind of leadership. And those who are very close to him, his family, where everybody in Ghana is being told that this family in Chebi is the superior family to everybody. Now all that has crashed. So I think it is very good, honestly. I really think it is good.
Okay.
So when we come to talk about the things that have happened in the last 8 years, under President Akufo-Addo and the NPP, I think Ghanaians must draw some serious lessons. People are talking about reconstructing NPP. People are talking.
So they said. So the vice president said this, that they were going to do an honest introspection, regroup, and come back stronger. Dr. Matthew Boku Prempeh says they're going to do a reflection and then also be able to pull their strengths together and come back. In what form should that introspection and regrouping take? Professor Jampo says all current executives of the party should be sacked. They should just go. Would it be one of your recommendations?
Alfred, honestly.
And rescue the party from the claws of what?
Alfred,
and its remnants.
Alfred, okay. I have some very fundamentally radical thinking right now on the whole issue of multi-party democracy, where the major building blocks for creating government necessarily have to rest on political parties. I think that whole essence of political party in our democracy has to be looked at very critically. Why do I say so? You have parties that pay little attention to the characters, the individual characters who lead the party. So at the constituency level, you have jostling and competition that pays very little attention to the quality of the person who will become an MP. So it is the party vehicle that is carrying somebody. And once they are able to, with whatever means, sometimes, a lot of times financial and others, he becomes candidate, the party vehicle carries the person to become MP. Whether this person really is capable or not. So you go into the political party, and the party is very powerful and strong and has a lot of resources. And somebody inside that party also has connections to resources and influence. So that person, irrespective of whether they qualify to lead Ghana or not, becomes the candidate, and then the party machinery still carries them to become president. I am saying that the political scientists are here with us. Professor Jampo is here. We should begin to take a look at this whole issue of party in our democracy as against the character and competence of individuals. Okay. And how do we get individuals who are competent but do not have the strength and the resources of a political party to put themselves forward?
Right.
Are we talking about simply party politics, or we are talking about quality governance and leadership where democracy is determined by majority, not necessarily by some.
This is a major issue. It's going to be a bigger conversation.
Yes,
because
seriously.
We are just doing a post-mortem of the election.
So really,
I promise that
to that extent, I would not even concern myself so much with re-engineering, rebranding, restructuring a party. That's up to them, honestly.
Okay. So
because seriously, what I am seeing, listen, before I come there, what I'm seeing is that these political parties have not been paying attention to the broader interests of the majority of Ghanaians.
Okay.
They first of all tend to look at the interests of a party and all of the appointments that will come out of a party winning an election, and what that party also does with other people who don't belong to their parties. These are big issues that I think we should look at. So if their interest is, of course, forming a political party is a legitimate thing. It is constitutionally permitted, but the dividends that we are getting as society, I think it demands some serious questioning and some serious reappraisal of what political parties mean and stand for as far as our forward march and our development is concerned.
You and Lanchamanting and others are going to come back to the NPP now that, they're going to do the introspection.
There's a question.
Yes.
That whether we should come back.
Are you going
personally, I don't have any interest at all. I've totally lost interest in going back to the NPP. I have to declare it to the whole country, to everybody who's listening to me.
Lost interest.
I have no appetite to go back to NPP personally. I cannot speak for Alan Chamating, but I or Hininto have no interest whatsoever.
In this current form,
Professor Jambo, I'm not qualifying it. I say I have no appetite.
Thank you.
I am not interested.
All right,
at
thank
all.
you.
I want to do other things with my life going forward.
Please.
Take it from where
Yes, quick one. Yes.
Look,
So that you can respond to.
for now, he's not a member of NPP,
I
so
am
we'll
not.
leave him to rest.
And I don't want to
okay,
go
that's
back.
fine.
And then going back to Professor, in the political science department, I'm senior to him, so he should not forget that also.
Well said.
But he's a
thirdly-
professor now in the department.
Yes, he is, but
Proceed and make your point.
now, there was a call from Dr. Nyahu Tamaklo that where were we during 2016?
16.
What did he expect us to do in 2016? 2016, I was a candidate on the ticket of the NPP. So I prosecuted the agenda of the party by winning the election in 2016. So I was doing the party's work. Nevertheless, if he had any views about then candidate Akufo-Addo, I don't think that I would have been in a position to predict the performance of President Akufo-Addo to have said anything contrary to what other people knew and what I also knew as a person. And being a party person, I will always have heard.
Alfred, let your people correct my surname. My surname is Ohininto.
Yes, please.
Not Into.
I
let them
appreciate
do
that.
because they are on air with
Yes,
the wrong name.
We will correct that. Thank you.
Good. So there was nothing that I needed to have done that I didn't do. I worked within the party, the structures of the party, albeit that I am also sharing my disappointment as what has happened in the presidency and what I expected would have happened. Nevertheless, I have no regrets whatsoever supporting the candidature of then candidate Akufo-Addo, because at the time I believed that the deliverables that we expected would come under his administration. More so, we have had elections. The people of Ghana have spoken. We are all making some allegations. These allegations will not constitute, all of them put together will not constitute evidence. Let's go to the courtroom and prove the allegations we have made, and let's also seek sanctions for people who fall foul to the allegations or to the charges they face. It is not enough to say that because this man is better than that man, whatever wrongs he has committed, let's sweep under the carpet and let him continue.
Right.
Let us go to the extent of bringing out those culprits and letting them facing the law, and let the law take its course, and let people also face sanctions. Indeed, the beginning of creating wealth is saving that which you have. If we cannot make any difference at all in bringing new wealth, let's save that which we have. And if, as my colleagues have been saying, they know that they have evidence that people have unduly amassed wealth at the expense of the state.
Right.
Let those people gather the courage. Let the prosecution also do its work, and let us get these monies back.
Okay.
Then we can have a sound footing to take off. And as I've always said, let's be careful going forward. And again, Nana Hinto said that quality is important in management. It's always important. If we continue to nominate, select people without the necessary competence, we will also harvest that which falls short of expectation.
Right.